I think a lot of the mental health side of it is actually now proved it
Linked.
stems from washing machines.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Funnyfarm pod, and this is our guest edition as well. You've got me, Charlie, as always. You've also got Joe in a lovely purplish top this evening. You got Chris, and we've also got Dave. And Chris will now introduce Dave to you and tell you what it's all about.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pod. Yeah, me and Dave known each other for a few months now. We both attend the Actors Workshop in Nottingham. As I said to the guys before, Dave's a lot better at acting than I am. But yeah, that's how we know each other. But the one of the things that we've chatted about quite a few times on the pod, as you'll know, as watchers, listeners, we've talked about AI quite a bit on the pod. So Dave contacted me and said that, you know, we had a bit of a chat about his job and stuff. So he works in IT, self-employed in IT. But I believe you studied AI and stuff like that at uni, and you've got quite a big interest in it. So that's why we've got Dave on the pod today. So he's going to give us some actual knowledge around AI and stuff, where we just chat shit about it. Dave might actually know what it's all about. So Dave, just tell us a bit about your background in what you do, and obviously around the AI stuff, Dave.
Yeah, so my job is a software developer. I started a degree back, God, it's a long time ago now, about 20 years in computer science. So that was at Loughborough University. I got a first class degree in that. After that, I did a master's, and again, that was a first. Then they gave me a scholarship to do a PhD in AI,
Wow.
which kind of gives me a bit of a knowledge about it, but I dropped out of that. So,
This whole thing, and now you've dropped out of it.
Yeah, I went all that way through, and I worked at Microsoft as well for over a year when I was like 19 as part of it. So I was a smart kid, and it's all gone gradually downhill.
No.
Yeah, I did do a lot of the stuff that is predominant in AI now, like neural networks and language learning models and stuff like that. It's all stuff that I was sort of read up on for regards to my literature review on my PhD. So I did about a year of a PhD. Then I decided it wasn't applicable in that current time. The technology wasn't there, the interest wasn't there, and I always wanted to start my own company. And when I knew that I couldn't use the AI to start a company, I decided, right, I'm going to start my company in something else that was big at the time, which was e-commerce. And I sort of went down that route and abandoned the PhD and started my company and hired people and did that.
Did you did you have your own e-commerce business, or did you sort of help others who had got?
I started it from scratch, mate. I just started it from scratch. I'd done some e-commerce work with some guys that were starting a bike company, a trials bike company, and they were starting up. They were young my age, and I'd done a lot of work for them. And and then they had some work lined up, and I could sort of see some other clients sort of materializing. So I had enough going to build up this company. And then I hired another guy who was also doing a PhD with me, so I've had enough of it. And I said, like, do you want to come work for me? And and I started my company up from that and got another guy on, and I did that for about 10 years before I went freelance. So yeah, I did it all off my own back.
Awesome. Charlie, I think you had a hand raised.
Yeah. Just going back to your university days, did you stay in Falk Eggington Court? Is that where you were in uni?
No, I actually got into that I went for a different university. I went for Leeds, and I got.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said.
No, I went to Loughborough. I did go to Loughborough, but I got in through clearing because I didn't do that well on my A levels. I did well on my degree. I was rubbish at my A levels. You know, it's really important stuff to do, like play video games. And but I ended up in Ashby Houses, which were actually outside the university. They were down all the way to Sainsbury's. Yeah, because if you got in through clearing, then you had no say on where you stayed. So I was like sharing a room with another guy. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know where Falkirk is. Yeah.
I was in Falkirk. I stayed in Falk Eggington. So
I
went to Loughborough, I went to Loughborough University.
What did you do?
Management sciences. I did go to do electrical engineering initially, but it was hard.
Yeah.
It was really bad, and you had to work like all the other students were doing like about 3 hours lectures a week. I was doing like 50 hours lectures a week, and then you had to come home and do work, and that was no good when you want to get out. And what's their tipple there? It's like oh,
The
personal
drink, purple nasty. Oh my god, that stuff. Yeah,
yeah, it's like a snake bite with black currant in, isn't it?
it's a quid a pint.
Wow.
Yeah. So I used to want to get them down my neck. So I never had time for lectures. Anyway, I never got me degree. But anyway, there you go.
Well, your engineering degree time didn't go to waste, did it, mate? Because you managed to fix your washing machine last week. So well done on that, brother.
I did, and that was using YouTube actually.
Dude, I do that all the time, mate. My dishwasher, I'm like, for the first week, you're just watching it thinking, is water going to pour out the bottom? You're like supervising the entire cycle. So yeah, I feel you, Pete.
Yeah, don't talk to me about washing machines. I think me and Charlie have been through it all these past couple of months, haven't we,
We've been
mate?
through the rinse. We've been through the rinse.
You start a podcast about mental health awareness and like a comedy kind of podcast based on that kind of stuff, and you end up being a sponsor for Calgon. It's mad.
I think a lot of the mental health side of it is actually now
Linked.
It stems from washing machines.
Yeah, washing machines and Aldi's prices. Yeah. So moving like back to, because I don't know, it's probably going to be a very simplistic question from me then, but it's like the big thing around AI that you see on Facebook and on like I don't watch the news much, and I'm not very clever when it comes to like I'm not very good at research and stuff. But like the one thing that everybody always says is AI is going to come and take your jobs. That's what people say all the time. Like my response to that is fucking take my job. Happy days. I'll chill out. I'll go and sit on the beach. No worries. But clearly, how would you how if AI came in and took everybody's jobs tomorrow, you've still got a load of human beings there, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. It will replace some jobs. That's inevitable. But technology does. I mean, if you look through any technological revolution, I mean, the jobs we see now, most of them didn't exist back 30 years ago. I'm a software engineer. When 30 years ago, there was hardly any software engineers, and if they were, they're extremely specialist. It's now quite a big, it's a big job a lot of people have. So AI will inevitably create jobs. That's happened. The problem is, will that happen at a rate that catches up with the amount that you lose? That are lost with regards to what it's replacing. And that question is open in the air, and that depends how quickly AI develops. But yeah, a lot of people. I mean, Microsoft released a list of jobs that are in trouble, and I do a lot of web development, and web developers are right up on that list. So I'm someone in the firing line because this thing generates code.
Right. Okay. So it'd be easier to like develop a website, for example, based on you could just tell it what you want and it'd just do it.
Theoretically, yes, but in reality, no. It's like it can generate very simple things for like low-level stuff that beginner web developers would be generating for their business. So sort of cut off that part of web development for people that try to get into it. For people that are more established like me, everything I do becomes a lot more specialist. It's not really something that's in the public domain. A lot of the systems I get are closed. There's not loads of information about them on the internet. You've got to understand what you're doing to actually do stuff with them. And that gives me a bit of protection with regards to this. I started off making websites for people, but my job evolved away from that. It's a big problem for young people and new people into industries because a lot of them won't be able to get into it. And I also feel it's kind of short-sighted from businesses to not take people on and to fire people because they're relying on people in senior jobs to actually manage and oversee what's going on with the AI. But those people will move on, get older, retire, and they're hedging all their bets that AI is going to be able to replace their jobs in 10 years' time or 20 years' time. And if it doesn't, then you've actually got no one coming in as new developers to fill in those positions. So they're taking a gamble if you're just going for short-term cost saving. And I'd probably say to people, like, if you're passionate about something, let that be your driver for doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think people get comfortable in their jobs and they're like, oh, it's going to take my job. But some people probably aren't even happy in their jobs. So it might take them the job that they actually are more happy doing than the job they're doing currently. It's difficult. It's a difficult one.
Yeah. It's like, I suppose, if you go back to, like, we've talked about Thatcherism and stuff like that on here, where, with the decimation of industry back in the Thatcher era with the mines and the steelworks and everything, and everyone thought, God, this is the end. But then a lot of service industry comes on, and things just evolve and develop, don't they? I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, me and Joe were just having a quick chat before, weren't we? And we were talking about, like, medicine and stuff like that. Could AI? It couldn't fully replace, like, the NHS, I suppose, could it? But you see robotics and in surgery now, don't you? And AI could potentially take that the next step, I guess.
Quickly before you answer that, there's have you ever seen the film Passengers?
No.
It's got Jennifer Lawrence in it, and I think it's Chris Pratt. And at the end of that scene, it's a real spoiler. Sorry, everybody, if you haven't watched it. But,
I'm not watching it now.
We don't need to watch it now, do we?
This guy, anyway, he basically he dies, and they put him inside this like tube, and it's pretty much just all ran by a robot, which obviously ultimately now could be AI, and it's like it just scans the body, and then it's like and just cuts him open and stitches him back up and all that. But I was saying to Chris, I says, you look back then, I think this film came out about 2015, something like that, so about 11 years ago. And that really was like, wow, could you imagine if something like that happened?
They've had that in Star Wars for years, mate, since the 70s.
Again, Charlie, this is another thing you've got, is that if you see Prometheus, that film, there's a bit where they go on the spaceship at the end and he goes, ship, play Beethoven's Symphony 9. And it plays the song, and everybody was like, wow, could you imagine if you could do that? And then the song played just from asking for it. It's everyday life now, isn't it, that?
I remember my mate, he's like a software engineer and does what you do, Dave, and he lives in Australia. But he said to me years ago, he was reading this article about there's going to be like this database, and it's going to have every film on it, and it's going to have every bit of music that's ever written. It's going to be on like this database. It's going to be I'm going, God, that's going to be incredible. Then the next minute, iPods come out, and like Netflix comes out, and it's just evolution, isn't it? Surely, and it just makes things so easy. And then we look at the negative side of it, what impact it's going to have on jobs. But like, even like for doing this pod, I get some grief off some of our viewers, our followers, our listeners, because I do a little ChatGPT, little post to put out on Facebook for our followers and all that. And if I had to do that on Canva, I'd never be able to do it. But I can just pop it into ChatGPT and it'll generate it for me.
I think Joe gives you more shit than the followers on that one, mate, to be honest with you.
The only problem is with ChatGPT that I've found now is that if you design, because we used it to do t-shirt designing, and every single thing that it comes back with just looks like you could buy it from Skeggy Market or something. Joe, and I just think, like, there's no professional image on them. They're all cartoonified. It's like, is it going to learn that not everybody wants everything looking colourful and cartoony?
Joe. Sorry, Dave. Carry on.
No, go ahead. No, it's people seem to think that the AI we've got currently is a silver bullet that can do everything, and it isn't. What it basically is a pattern recognition system which has been fed a hell of a lot of data, and is weighting stuff and creating relationships, and then it's outputting a prediction which looks really reasonable. They're all language-based systems generally, but language in itself encodes reasoning, and a lot of people don't realize that. So if you take language, decode it, you get logic, you get reasoning. because that's what talking is. We're reasoning with each other now. And that's why you get this manifestation of stuff that seems so accurate and so real, is because if you put enough information in, then what comes out will make sense, is reasonable. But yeah, the thing is with the images and stuff like that, when we talk, we have a high level understanding of what it is we want. I can tell you with terms, and I can say it's kind of like this or kind of like that. And you've got a huge knowledge and memory of the world and everything that's in it. And AI doesn't have that. It's only got what it's been trained on. So it is, it's difficult, because you could say to someone, I want this, like a graphic designer. And they go, yeah, I get you. We can go away and you can do that. But with the AI, there's not that grand scheme of things, which is why you come across these sort of hurdles.
That's true. I mean, over Christmas, I mean, what I did over Christmas, I asked AI. I've got ChatGPT on my phone, on my desktop, and I've also used Gemini as well, which is the Google version. So I've got sort of like three different versions of it. So what I thought I'd do is I'd do the Euro Millions, right? So
What the fucking hell?
I asked it to predict the Euro Millions for me. What I thought I'd do is, because I thought I was being really clever, because it won't give you. It says we can't predict them. I said, well, just tell me which numbers come out the most and which are most likely to come out, and it did. So I did it on the three platforms. I did it, and then what I did is I took an average of them. So I got an average of them in my little mathematical mind, my quantum mind. And I got one number from it.
I think you're right until you worked out your averages.
Yeah,
you should have just picked one. But maybe there's like a nanoscopic type of difference in one of the balls, which makes it come up a little bit more often. So you should really stuck to those.
On another thing, if
and the three platforms were totally different numbers as well.
but if
I may as well have thrown 50 odd balls in me washing machine.
that's what you do anyway.
that's probably how it broke.
But what I mean is, it's like, what if you actually did end up winning the lottery, right? That Euro Millions from an AI prediction. Would you then win the lottery, or would AI win the lottery? Would there be a massive debate about that?
Because it'll be shared amongst about another 100 million people who have done exactly what I've done that week and got the same numbers.
Yeah, you might have. If a lot of people have thought that way, you might be sharing that jackpot.
Yeah. I'm not the only numpty in this world.
Everyone wins.
You did the averaging. You should be all right, man. I don't think anyone else would have done that.
Done the averaging out, yeah. I've used some kind of mathematical scale.
That's how my mind ticks.
Joe, just tell Dave what you're doing for your New Year's resolution thing, because I think it'd be interesting to get Dave's opinion on this. I mean, you've got mine. Your house should be very fucking clean.
Yeah. So what it is, Dave, I said at the back end of December, because all three of us keep trying to push AI to its limit, as you can obviously see with Charlie there. Yeah. And
not
what
me.
I've done is I said to it, I says, run my life for a year, right? I want to be a millionaire at the end. Is this possible? So I did it complete. I put every single thing about. I gave it all the timings of my work. I gave it all the jobs that I'm doing, all the times I'm doing the podcast, what the ambition is with the podcast. I gave it the link to the channel so it sees how many subs and stuff like that we've got. I gave it so much information, and it came back with first day of January. Right, we're gonna wake up at 8 in the morning. And we're going to deep clean the bathroom. And I thought, right, so this is going to make me a millionaire by the end of the year, deep cleaning my bathroom, is it? Okay, go on then. Cool, we'll do that. We'll start with that. That's fine. So I ended up doing that. And then it was like, right, get some exercise. So I thought, all right, yeah, right, I'm with this. This will be all right then. And then it's like eat healthy and all that. It's get me my shopping list. It's great for all that. I mean, for fitness, it's amazing. Like, can draw you up at any workout plan, anything like that. And obviously, the cleanup side of it. Well, this is where it's all gone a bit pear-shaped because it started off being like deep clean the bathroom, but now it's like every single day it wants you to spend about 5 hours cleaning. And I'm thinking to myself, is it some like Karate Kid sort of like, wax on, wax off sort of like ratio that we're going on here? What is it? Why does it keep telling me to clean everything? That's going to make me a millionaire.
Well, no, I think the bathroom cleaning is because it knows you're going to be swapping to healthy eating, so you're going to be in the toilet a lot more. I reckon that's probably you're going to make that environment cleaner and nicer for you, so you can do your deep thinking on the toilet. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
I think it's probably after about 3 months, it's going to say, right, Joe, now you're going to set up your own cleaning business, which is going to make you £1 million.
That's what I'm kind of getting towards. I'm like, what? Why is it? And at the minute, sorry, I've got a gig tonight, and so I said, I've got this gig tonight, and I need to make sure that the equipment's working okay. Which obviously, when you're gigging, I've got a full PA system to set up. With my monitor, I've got to get all my levels right because basically I've got to get a new desk tonight. I've bought it. I've just got to go and pick it up. So I've got to try all that out. But the thing is, what it don't take into, or what it don't think about, is that setting up a PA system can take you a long time and to get all your levels right and things like that. And it's just like, yeah, spend 20 minutes doing that, and then we're going to go to Aldi to get some shopping done. And I'm like, no, we're not, because this is important. We've got a gig tonight, you know what I mean? And it just doesn't seem to have any sort of emotional value.
That's what we chatted about this a couple of weeks ago, Dave, as well. And I was like, I think Joe's quite like AI, and Charlie likes it as well. And I don't like it. Like I said before, I've only just started using ChatGPT. I've not really engaged with it. But I was saying like AI can't account for stuff that goes wrong in your life or your emotions. It can't. At this moment in time, it's not got the ability, has it?
It's kind of read only. So you give it some information and input, whatever you're typing in, and it gives you something out. It doesn't affect the world. It's up to you whether you take that information and then you apply it to have any effect on the world. But they're trying to move on to the next level, which is a agentic AI. So with agents, have you heard about agents?
No.
They're going to be your little assistant who does all the stuff for you that you don't want to do. So you want to book a restaurant, you'll say whatever your agent's
Oh yes, I know. Yeah.
Hey Dave, book me a restaurant at 6 o'clock at so and so, and then I'll go off. It'll go to a website. I'll make phone calls. I mean, you're gonna have all these people dealing with these AI voices ringing up trying to book restaurants, and it's gonna do people that used to have to read through all like things and call. You ring up a call center and they'd read through this list of stuff before they help you. It's going to be the opposite now. You're going to have the AI just going through this list of stuff trying to book, sort out the printer or whatever. But that offers something back. So you've got that to deal with. And what they're aiming for, which they really want to push, or like Musk and your Sam Altman and your Zuckerberg, is something called artificial general intelligence, whereby it works pretty much autonomously with regards to working stuff out. It sets its own goals. It uses language. It has memory. It can actually do stuff with more context of the world, and that's what they're aiming for. And then you're sort of getting onto your Android type level stuff. But they need to get this done quick. They need to get this done quick because if they don't do it, I'd say by 2030, investors are going to lose interest and they're going to run out of money. So they're trying to get you addicted to AI.
But also on that, there's a race at the minute, isn't there? Because they're all trying to be the top dog of AI. So they're all just plunging everything into it. And I think, is it Elon Musk has just said look, I'll put a bit into it, but I'm not putting like what Microsoft or Apple are putting into it? Because I think Google's putting the most in, aren't they, at the minute? Is it some?
Well, there's massive deals with OpenAI with
Yeah,
regards to NVIDIA, and I forgot the third party in it. Probably could be Oracle. I don't know. But there's three big companies which are putting a lot of money into it together.
yeah,
And Google Gemini is another big one, and obviously Google has a lot of backing. It's got a heck of a lot of data information. There is a race because part of it will be whoever gets there first will be crowned the winner, and whoever's involved with it will become the godfather of artificial general intelligence. Because we've already got a godfather of AI, who's a guy called Jeffrey Hinton, who you
right.
see quite a lot on TV currently. But some of it's ego, some of it's a chance to try and make a lot of money. But for them, it is a gamble. It is a gamble because if it doesn't pay off, then a lot of companies will fold. And a lot of companies are built on these companies. A lot of companies are built off the back of OpenAI. They're using OpenAI to make their apps. So if OpenAI were to collapse, their whole ecosystem of AI-based applications they have currently would collapse. So it's a bubble that will work. It could burst, it could not. I'd say there's a lot of problems AI faces now with regards to energy usage, with regards to social acceptance, with regards to so much. So even though if the technology's there, the ideas and concepts, whether it'll work out is some people, I say it's 50-50.
Do you think
Yeah.
there'll be?
Very
Sorry,
interesting.
Charlie.
No, just saying that's very interesting. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who hope it fails, and
It won't disappear. Don't get me. Right? If it fails, it won't disappear.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
it's going, but it just means the rate of development will slow,
yeah.
and that's possibly a good thing. But it does need this period to develop. If you look at the way technology evolves, if there's always like an S curve, and it slowly grows up, then it accelerates quickly, and then it slows off, and then it needs some other technological advancement to push it up again. So at the moment, I think we're somewhere on the steep bit, but how long that will last will depend on what happens in the next 5 years.
I
I mean,
think that's
quickly,
the scary part of it, isn't it? Because we were chatting about this a few weeks ago, weren't we? We were
I was
saying,
going to say this, Charlie. That I mean, I work in pubs, Dave. So everybody in a pub knows everything, don't they? You know what I
Yeah, they're all
mean?
experts. Yeah.
Everybody's an expert in there, and like this woman the other week, she went, "You do realise though with AI that it's gone that far now that it can regenerate on its own. That it's like taken over power plants so that it doesn't like ever die." And I'm just like,
Yeah, that's the
is
problem
that
with hype.
what it is? What's going
No,
off?
no, right. There's a lot of hype about AI, okay? And like I said before, it's not a silver bullet. And it pays to have hype at the minute because if you're trying to raise investment for this technology, you want people generally to think it's amazing and it can do so much. And it is amazing, don't get me wrong. What it's doing is, I've looked into how it works, it's extremely clever. But if without hype, you won't get investment. And that's what it's relying upon. And like I said, they want you to get addicted to the technology. They want you to make sure that you can't be without this technology, especially businesses. Because if they're getting rid of staff and they're dependent on this technology, then they'll have to keep paying for this technology because their business depends on it. And that's what's happening. So, like I said, I think some businesses are being reckless with it and they might be shooting themselves in the foot with it long term. They're taking a gamble. And at the moment, what's going on is a big gamble for the tech companies. It's a big gamble for business. And it affects you and I.
But is it another form of life? Has it got its own control?
No, at the moment, no. No. Jeffrey Hinton talked about this. He worked at Google Brain, where everything's based on how the brain works. And he says the thing that scares him the most is, and obviously he's academic, so academics tend to look at the more negative scenario, in my opinion, is when you have these models distributed and they're all updating each other across the internet. Because it's drawing a lot of information and you will eventually get something inevitably that could have more intellect than a human. And when things are distributed, they're harder to control if stuff's replicating. So, but stuff's replicated on the internet all over the shop. It's kind of a natural thing. And I kind of think there's some element of truth in that, but there's still so many hurdles in front of AI. I don't think it's something to worry about right now, in my
It's not
opinion.
Terminator. That's what we're trying to say.
Well, I mean, AI will be used in military applications. Don't get me wrong. That will definitely be used. It'll be used to make shots more accurate. It'll be used in warfare, 100%.
Yeah.
It'll take over pilots. It'll take over pilots. Won't it? I mean, a lot of pilots. There's a lot of drones out there now.
To be honest, at the state it's in, I don't think it will take over pilots. Because I tried to explain this to someone, right? I can tell you how. I used to be a snowboard instructor. I can tell you how to snowboard. I can tell you before the lesson. I tell you how you need to stand, where you need to, how your body position needs to be, and all of that. I can tell you all about. I can show you videos. I can do a demonstration. But once you actually go on the board, you've got all the knowledge you need to do it. Yeah. There's so many variables. That, you just go straight on your backside.
This is how I feel about acting. It's exactly the same as how I feel about acting. Like you can prepare, you can learn your lines, and then as soon as you stood up in front of people, like at the actors' workshop, it all just goes all over the place, doesn't it? You know what you're supposed to be doing, but in your head you've prepared how you're going to perform it, what mindset you're going to be in, what the mode is, and all that kind of stuff. And then you stand up in front of people, and your brain then starts fucking it up, doesn't it?
That's the thing. There's the real world, and then there's what AI uses, which is a subset of the world. And obviously they're trying to make that subset bigger. They're spending loads on data centers to make their model of the world bigger. But there's no replication for actually being in the world. And that's also, for quite some time, is something AI is going to struggle with. You can get sensors, and you can create memory for it, and it'll get it closer. But there's also things like our biological connection to the world, and that holds a lot of weight. Everything we do is based on chemical reactions, and that's also going to be a limit for AI. There's also loads of discussions about this, but AI has a lot of hurdles to get through to be something that people are hyping up. At the moment, it isn't that.
When was the first? When was AI like the first iteration of it? When was it first conceived, Dave? Like back in time? What would be like
the first
pin in time?
The first chatbot, I believe, was from the 1950s.
Yeah.
The 1950s is where the ideas sort of seem to kind of like take some sort of some sort of momentum. There were lots of attempts to try and push AI and get it to be accepted, and there's investment in it. I think around the 80s as well, and it just didn't deliver. It's too slow. But with graphics cards and stuff like that use for your PlayStations and all of that, they figured out you could use these to run loads of operations all at the same time rather than one by one, which is called sequentially. So everything's done in parallel. And now they can do so many calculations at once. Is how all this has become possible. But the technology has been developed over the last 70 years at least.
Yeah. Let me just say this to you. So this is my view, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I just want your opinion. So I think that in a few years' time, I think that technology will advance that much that we won't die. All right. And I'll elaborate on that, because I think that what will happen is that AI will literally or not even AI, but some form of it will understand how to actually break the mind and the soul of you down and regenerate you inside of some other kind of like artificial form. Do you think that is possible?
What year are you going to give me?
Let's go about 10 years.
Not in our lifetime, in my opinion.
He said in a few years.
Yeah, about 10 years.
About 10 years. All right. Do you want to put a bet on it?
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet? Should we bet? Put 100 quid. Put 100 quid on it. I bet 100 quid it won't.
No chance.
I reckon it will.
I'll take that bet as well.
But the
Yeah,
thing is, you look at some of these developers now, what they're coming up with, and obviously you've got Neuralink, haven't you, and things like that all stemming about, and they've actually like, I mean, obviously I'm not a software engineer, so I'm only going off what I've read from Facebook and YouTube, but you
Based
know,
reliable sources. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
they
Yeah, but
are
I mean,
they're really big, they really are
They
good
are.
reliable
It's all
we've
sources,
true, man. It's all true.
from
and
like a from like my perspective, being the thicko in the room, right? You've jumped from asking ChatGPT, how do I become a millionaire in a year, and it getting you cleaning your fucking bathroom, to AI's gonna be able to make us live forever.
yeah, but mate, you need this scope. You need this sort of like drive, don't you? You know what I mean? You need to look at the biggest picture. Right, to put
You
it
do, yeah.
simply, this is how my mind works. Right? I've got a
Right.
vision that in about probably 30
I think
years,
he's been on LSD this
no,
morning, lads, mate.
we're,
Is
we're all
is
going to
that
live in this
any
digital world, all right? I think we will all be able to live in a digital world. I think there'll be no such thing as dying. I think when you get to the hospital and instead of going like, right, I'm really sorry to have to say this, but yeah, he's got about a few hours left to go. I think instead of that, it'll now be like, right, yes, what we're gonna do is it's come to that sort of time where we need to actually like transfer them into the digital world that's gonna be.
The
So
metaverse. Yeah.
yeah, like in the metaverse, yeah. So we're gonna have to upload them to the metaverse, but so everybody, and
Has
there'll be like a giant TV in the hospital, and you'll see this guy on his bed, and he's going, "Just to let you know, I'll see you in the metaverse," and then next thing, bang, right, and then the screen comes on, right, the screen comes on, and this guy just comes up and goes, "I'm here.
I'm
How
young
you
again.
doing, everyone?" Right, and
Why
then
don't we just
right.
do it now then? Don't wait until you're in the fucking depths of death. You do it straight away. I want to be fucking 18
Yeah, but
again.
then we'll be able to live forever because the thing is that like the world's going to end, isn't it? Obviously, and then where we're going to go? Well, Elon's already looking at getting Mars up and running, right? So then everybody will be in this digital world. So Mars will just be a battery for this digital world. So it'll just be like powering what we're now all going into. So
so when
effectively, we'll
world
never die.
actually gets when the world actually gets destroyed, then Joe. So all
Yeah.
that data and all that power that's getting stored to have you running around in this digital world, won't that get destroyed?
No, because it'll be in Mars. Because Mars will be the next place.
Mars is
So
only
Won't
going
we'll
Mars
be
get
multi.
destroyed then?
They'll just,
Yeah,
Just
but
gonna
we'll be
leave
able to
Mars.
transform
switch
this digital
between
world.
planets like
Get off
simple,
and off.
won't we? Because and then once Mars is gone, then we look at the next one, right? And then we look at the next one, and it just keeps going like that forever and ever and ever, and we'll never die. And every single person will be able to just live in this digital realm forever.
I reckon you'll get some like teenage kids in like 1,000 years' time that just think it's funny to delete it. And then literally, whole digital world's gone. Like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, Dad's not giving me pocket money. Fuck him. Delete.
Yeah, and that's it. And then this whole world's just on Mars. It's
Yeah.
just been
Oh
deleted.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Can I just ask, going back to like investors?
Charlie's going to bring some sensibility back to this now, I think.
no, this is all real. This is
It's
all...
all about teenagers, but going back to like investors and stuff like that, and investors' appetite to invest in AI. Do you think recent legislation with social media, especially in Australia, because they banned it now for all under 16s, and that's about it looks like it's going to go through in the UK as well. Do you think that will affect the growth of AI? Because I think social media will have a big impact on
So
on
social media is feeding a lot of the narrative of AI.
yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed it on your feeds. Usually it's quite biased towards certain views that you have, but it seems like as far as AI goes, it's trying to show you it's a good thing. It was just kind of surprise. It's not surprising because Meta are heavily invested in AI, and they're using their platform to push that. Will it have an impact? Maybe not. I think there's enough message about it that is kind of got the momentum going enough that it'll support. I think the investment's there now. I think it's whether the investors are satisfied with what happens with regards to it will determine what happens. because that's ultimately what they've got to do. They've got to show the investors that all the money that's been put into this is going to deliver something that's going to make money. And if investors get shaky on it, there's rumours that, I'm hearing stuff that based on the current cash burn, OpenAI will run out of money in 2027. I'll take that with a big pinch of salt because things change, but in their current trajectory. So investors will be getting, and I've noticed on the stock market as well, that the rapid rise has sort of settled somewhat. So I think it's now a case of sit on your hands and see what happens and whether these companies deliver. And that's what I think investors are looking at the minute. And I think that's why there's the rush and why governments are stepping back on there's legislation, but it's kind of weak. The EU is probably the strongest legislator of it, but a lot of countries think that if they legislate it, it's going to put them at a disadvantage. So I think they're riding out again. I think it's all based on around 2030 will be determined whether this has been a success or whether this will just be a slow burner, in my opinion.
So here's another view I've got.
Go on, Joe.
Do you think?
I love you, Joe.
No, but do you think that soon we'll have droids? Do you think that we'll have
We've got them already, man.
Yeah, but I mean personal ones. So in the home. So it's some I don't know, one like me, right? Unfortunately, there'd be two versions of me. So I'd have this droid, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel good today, mate. Are you alright to go and do this shift for me because I can't be bothered? And it's like, yeah, no problem, Joe. I've got it, buddy. Right? And then it goes up to work, does your job for you while you're sat on your arse at home. Do you think that's going to come into play?
Have you seen what people do to robots? Have you seen that? Have you seen that guy? There's a guy that bought a one of those Tesla robots.
Yeah.
And all people do is they just torture them. They torture them. Whenever anyone gets a robot, they want to stick it in an arena and make it fight, like Robot Wars. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People
I
have
love
to.
Robot Wars. I
No,
can tell you
it's
about
like,
everything to do with Robot Wars, but yeah.
It's a killer lot.
Yeah, but I'm saying people get robots, and right. I'll give you an example. If you said to your robot, "Oh, I want to go out and go to a grocery store," and it went out on a Saturday night in Nottingham, I guarantee by about 1 a.m. it'd be floating down the Trent with a cone on his head. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's true. It's like people. I think it's what I'm saying about the social acceptance. I think that I just can't see that people be comfortable with something that could potentially kill them being in their house by accident, because if it's strong enough to do the stuff that humans do, and you've got that in the corner of your room staring over you when you go to bed, is that going to be socially acceptable? I don't, because
You've trained it, haven't you? Like it's learned, it's adapted of you. It's but
Yeah, but it might adapt a little bit further than you want it to, and you go, "Can you go and do my bar shift?" And it goes, "No," and just fucking chops your head off.
Might watch an episode of Robot Wars and think, "Actually, I'm into this."
I'm Sir Killer Lot. Fuck off, Joe. Fuck.
But it's if it goes up to the bar, right? Say I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going on holiday. Me and Ellen are going to go away, so we're going to go on holiday. Right?
Calabonna, probably.
Let's call him Ed. Ed, are you all right to do all the look after the house, mate? So you know what to do. Yeah, Joe, don't worry about. I've got this house, and feed the cat, and then just one more small thing. I've got 15 guitar lessons over this next weekend. So you know how to play guitar now, don't you? Yeah, downloaded all that. Right, you know how to run the bar, don't you? Yeah, know how to sort all that. Right, well, you just crack on with that then. We're going to clear off on holiday, right? And do you think that, I know what you're trying to say, but on another hand, if I sent that robot in Ilkeston uptown, right?
And
it
get
goes,
trashed, mate.
Hi there. Trashed. What can I get you today? You're just going to get some bloke go, what are you looking at, you? Bang! Just literally.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right. But what if I got it to download Bruce Lee moves? You know what I mean? So it couldn't be touched.
So you want this robot in your house that knows Bruce Lee
Making
moves?
it worse, isn't he? Every
Yeah,
single step is like
you've got a death wish, mate. You just don't want
Yeah, but
you've
it
got
loves me.
you've got
It
an
loves me.
AI
It never gets
droid
bored out of
that
me.
knows Wing Chun.
It's going to say to you one morning, "Good morning, Joe. Don't forget it's your annual prostrate check today."
I've not been trained on that yet.
No, but it. Well, there's pros
No,
and
I
cons, I
don't.
suppose.
The next step is that it'll take over your world, mate, and you'll be going and doing your job and all its tasks for it. I know, and if not, it'll do sticking hands technique on you and fuck you up like Bruce Lee would.
Yeah, but it's
Brilliant.
gonna love me. It's gonna be my baby, innit? You know, that's the thing.
Oh yeah,
It's
you'll
gonna love
be on a beach in Calabona while he's serving old fashions to fuckwits in Ilkeston, mate. Yeah, he's gonna love you.
Yeah, but if I say, Ed, listen to me now, right? From the moment go, all right? I'll be all right with you if you're all right with me. Then we'll have that understanding, won't we?
Dave, I reckon we should have £100 on Joe being the first person to be murdered by a
Yeah, I
fucking
was about to say that. I don't reckon he's going to make it to
I'll
10
take
minutes.
But it'd be all right because on your deathbed you can just go, send me to Mars, I'll be all right, lad.
Yeah, I'm ready for the metaverse.
Oh, dear me. Oh, this has been a cracking chat, hasn't it? We've been it's like 45 minutes has just gone. But
Yeah, mate, honestly, it's one of those things you could
you
just
could just
chat
chat
about.
forever. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just wanted to there are a couple of bits that I've spoken about on here a couple of times, and that grok thing that's been banned on X and stuff now, hasn't it? That was like really good fun, but then like I went up, I spoke about this on pod. I went up to the coffee man at Bramcote, had a coffee, and he took a picture of his missus. He showed me the video with one of the customers, and the next minute she's half naked and she's snogging this customer on AI. And I said, do it to me. So he like took a picture of me and he got me doing a handstand and my trousers dropped and this, that, and the other. And obviously like this deep fake kind of thing coming in where that could have a massive effect. And we touched on like legislation, regulation a little bit there. But how can you regulate it and still allow it to learn?
Yeah, but you can still have legislation, but I mean, I think is it Germany? You can't use someone's likeness. It's against the law to produce someone's likeness. So, but, that's not an AI law. That's a general law without permission. I think it's Germany. You have to fact check me on that one. But yeah, that's the problem. At the moment, we're turning a blind eye to copyright. We're turning a blind eye to a lot of things to get the models up and running. And I don't say I approve of that. I don't, but I kind of understand it.
Yeah.
But I think, it's the whole. It also leads into like misinformation as well, which is a big thing. But I just want to say this because I don't think people actually ever mention this. At the moment, we're living in a world which is full of misinformation. I think part of the reason we're in the trouble we're in with regards to governments and politics and that is because of misinformation.
Yeah.
And the fact that AI now makes it to a point where you can't tell what isn't real anymore, I see that as a much overdue positive thing because it makes you question what you're seeing. And I think that social media has been so biased and been pushing stuff in people's faces that they believe it because it fits their narrative. But I think to get to a point where you're looking at stuff and you're like, I don't know whether this is real or not, you go on Google and say, oh, did Donald Trump actually say this? And then you get a reliable source of BBC that's actually been there and filmed it. And you're starting to question things. And I think that just maybe that's a blessing in disguise for AI has now forced people to question what they're seeing and reading. And I think that's kind of like an important thing going forward because it's become too much of a problem in the world, in my opinion.
I
But
nearly
that
thought we'd done a
initial
whole.
That's an interesting take. That very interesting. Sorry.
Go on, Joe.
I'm gonna say I I thought we'd do a whole episode
Without
for once
Trump.
without mentioning Donald Trump, but we didn't.
Oh no, man, it's hard. How can you not?
Trump's a bit of a he's a bit of a feature on our pod, mate.
Yeah.
We've got it's an unofficial feature every week. It's like, what's Trump done now?
Well, there's a feature of the world, isn't he? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like they
yeah.
can't get away from it.
Yeah,
Exactly. We're getting
it's
very,
Yeah,
very big trouble all the time about him.
but
Even
yeah, I
like
think
I had a
he is
bit of a
like
toy.
highlighted.
Sorry, I'm slightly back to this deepfake thing. I had a bit of a play with like affiliate marketing and stuff like that, so not dissimilar to like the e-commerce model that you mentioned earlier, with regards to selling stuff online for other people and whatnot. And I did like a training course, and one of the bits on it was about AI. And I never did this, but there's certain programs out there where you can. And I think it's good in a way because it does cut down some work for you. But like you can, like if I took a half an hour video of myself talking now on this screen, you can then type a script and it'll say it in the way that I would say it, and it'll use the mannerisms that I use and stuff like that. And I get you saying that it's good that you're questioning stuff, and certainly it is. But the first time I saw one of these videos that had been made in that way, I had no idea that it was fake in any way, shape, or form. And so if you're saying something that's completely like off, like left field, like
yeah,
if I sent a video message to my missus saying I'm breaking up with you, I'm moving to Canada, I don't never want to see you again, you or the kids, she's gonna go, what the fuck's this all about? Because it's not normal, is it? But if
yeah.
you're sending like a relatively normal message out there, like for example, you could send out like a political view online that could have, you know, effects on you and your family and all that kind of stuff. Somebody could do that to you, or
Yeah.
so
Don't get me
it's
wrong. That is a serious problem, and that's
yeah,
the other side of a sword. You know, the side of the sword is right. You question everything you see.
yeah,
The other side of the sword is you don't question what you see because you expect it to be true.
yeah,
I think going forward, people will have keywords they'll use in their messages to show that they're real.
yeah,
You know, if only their and their family know, because it will. As soon as it becomes a fraud, and it's a fraud that people are aware of, they'll have to find some mechanism to get around it. At the moment, it's very easy to trick people. I know people that have had shown me stuff where there is someone talking to them that they believe is real, but that is not an actual person. I can see the glitch in the AI video. So it's a general problem right now, and the problem is people aren't aware of it. And I think as soon as people become more aware of it, then there are mechanisms for people put in place to protect themselves from it. It's one of the new problems of AI, and because we're not familiar with it, it becomes a problem. But I mean, it's also an advantage because if someone sent a picture of you dancing on a pool table at 3 a.m. and if your wife's going, well, what's all that about? You can just go, well, say, innit?
yeah.
That's
That's a very good point, mate. That is a very good point.
That's a good point.
I don't snort cocaine, love. It's AI. It's AI.
You can see the artifacts in the picture. It's clearly not real. But yeah, it's living with it, isn't it? It's adapting to it. It's getting used to it. And at the moment, because it's new, it's scary, it's unfamiliar, it's difficult. But I think once it becomes more familiar, you kind of work it out.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like with any technology. And the only problem with this one is rapid. I mean, it's happening at a rate that is unprecedented. And I think that's what's causing the, you talk about in regards to mental health, that's what's causing the anxiety around it, is because there's so much unknown. But it will eventually reveal itself. And at that point, you're basing it on facts rather than speculation. So,
there's got to be, with regards to mental health, though, there's going to be like AI therapy and stuff, which I think could be quite a positive thing. Where if you're not quite feeling right in yourself and stuff, you can talk to AI, and it would have kind of a similar kind of effect as like instant therapy, if you kind of know what I mean.
you can do that already.
Yeah.
You can speak to, but then there's the danger if it's.
It's got to be more advanced, hasn't it? That's what I mean. If you do it now, I don't think it's advanced enough to cope with that level of emotion that you could have. Like you wouldn't set off AI on the Samaritans helpline because you never know what's going to happen, do you? You know, I think you need that human interaction there.
I'm just thinking now.
I'd tell some people to crack on. I would, you know that.
Look, you know what? I'm just going to say this. Everything you ask AI, like, because I use the bit where you can talk to it and it talks back to you. So, you know, like, if you ask it something like, he goes, "Hey there, how's it going?" And I say, "Yeah, all right. I've got a problem with my car." "Okay, what's the problem with the car?" And then you explain it, and it's like, "Ah, yeah, sounds like it could be any of these issues, really. It's probably just this, or it's probably just that. But best to be on the safe side, take it to a mechanic or a trained professional. Then they'll tell you, you know." And it goes
Would
through
it
all
be?
this. You know, if you ask it the most basic question, like, "Hey, what's 1 plus 1?" "Ah, got you. Yeah, the thing with 1 plus 1 is that, like, this can be interpreted as, well, ultimately the value being 2. But the way we get to this is simply by just getting one number and adding it to the next number, and then equaling that together gives you the end result, which in this case would be 2." And it just goes on like that for ages. And I think, just answer the bloody question simply,
I
you
think
know.
the day you know. I think the day you know that AI's cracked it is when you go, "I've got a problem with my car," and it just goes,
It's
"It's
going
going
to
to
cost
cost
you.
you. It's going to cost you."
I mean, but that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, could you imagine somebody like, "Hey there, how's it going?" "Yeah, I can't
Bit
do
shit
this.
today,
I
mate. I'm
can't
not.
do this anymore." Yeah, that's the thing, you know. It's like, if I were you, I'd give up now as well. You know what I mean? It would say something like that. And you just think to yourself, like, you could not put that. Could you imagine replacing the whole of the Samaritan's phone line with an AI bot? Right? It'd be carnage, wouldn't it? It'd literally say something like, "So what's the problem then? My girlfriend's cheating on me, and I just want to end myself. I just want to kill myself." And it'd turn around and go, "Well, wouldn't it make more sense to kill her?" You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it would say something like that because it'd interpret, like, trying to make
AI,
yeah,
tell me how I
trying
get
to,
away with this.
yeah, trying to, like, realize what the
First of all,
problem is.
clean your bathroom. Clean your bathroom first.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Well,
Keep clean
Yeah,
it.
I think that's always been the argument, hasn't it? It's always been the case. Like the real answers are probably answers that humans don't want to hear. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
if you ask AI how to solve global warming, there is a very easy way to solve global warming, and that's to get rid of all the humans. Problem
Yeah.
solved. So
Yeah.
from a logical point of view, but it's not a very great solution for us. But yeah, that's the problem. Sometimes for solutions to problems, there's solutions you don't want to hear. And that's where the social aspect of AI comes in. But when you know you were saying that AI is really like goes on with the answers and stuff like that,
Mm.
and you notice it always uses those M dashes in
Yeah,
paragraphs, like when it
always.
writes stuff. It's because it's got a heck of a lot of academic papers that go through it, and obviously when you in academia everything's explained in a lot of detail, and also they use M dashes loads. So that's why that's fallen through so much. You see so much of it is because of the material it's been trained on, and
Right.
they have to vet it after, and they have to make AI nicer and feel a bit more human, because without that addition to the training, it wouldn't be.
No.
It'd be quite cold, and people won't use it because if you log in and it gives you the truth, people won't use it. So it actually lies to make you feel better, so you keep using it. Because I wrote a script once, and scripts for a competition, like screenplay, and I copied and pasted onto AI just to get his feedback, and I said, right, what do you rate it out of 10? And he goes, oh, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, but if you made these changes, I'd give it a 9, and I felt quite good about it. So then I submitted my script to the competition, thinking, well, this isn't too bad. It says good things about it. And literally, the person that was reviewing it gave it a 4 out of 10. So there's this reality that AI projects and makes you feel good about yourself, but it's not helping you because it's not giving you what you actually need unless you specifically ask for it. by
Yeah.
default, it's kind of biased to make you feel good because it wants you to keep using the AI. So in that sense, it's kind of dangerous because it's not giving you the information you need; it's giving you the information it thinks you want to hear,
Yeah.
which again is another inbuilt mechanism, but it can give you problems. And that was only a minor example, but if it was something else like mental health or something that you were relying on as a response, then it could be quite dangerous.
Well, it's like one thing that I
It
said to
brings
it
up.
the other day. Sorry, Chris. One thing I said to it
No,
the
yeah,
other
go.
day was, I went, we're going on about becoming a millionaire by the end of the year. It's going to run my life, tell me exactly, give me a clear route, it said, and a structured sort of like, I don't know, plan of how to do all this. And then I said to it, what's your name? And it goes, I'm just your friendly AI, chat GPT, and you can call me whatever you want. So it says, all right then, let's call you Fred. And it says, so
Like
do
a
you now
like a
know that your
prostitute.
name yeah, it's it right, and it says, I says, so you now know that your name's Fred, and it says, so once I close this, it says you'll know that your name's Fred, and it goes, I only keep data through chat, like the one chat, so when you come back on and it's a different chat, I'll probably won't remember that. I says, right, so you can tell me how to run my life, yeah, and literally like tell me how to clean this house top to bottom. You can tell me how to do everything, fix my car the lot, but you can't remember your own name.
That's by design. That's by design.
Yeah.
But with this plan, because I've been listening to this a bit now, you seem to be following it sequentially. Have you actually read through the entire plan to see what all the steps are? So you can, because you might be able to like jump some of the steps and you'd
Yeah,
be like a
well,
millionaire in 6 months rather than a year. And have you actually looked at the whole plan?
I
I'm just
have,
wondering.
yeah.
It seems like we did it day by day, right? And
Like,
what
well,
is
I've
the
got it.
general like?
I've done it for the whole year, and then it's broke it down quarterly, and then it's broke it down
Yeah.
monthly, and then it's broke it down weekly and daily. And so obviously, like, I've got all of this saved. But like one thing it's told me not to do that I'm doing exactly right now, which is really don't tell anybody that we're doing this.
Don't
So
tell anyone about the plan. I think that's
yeah, don't tell
yeah.
anybody
I
about the
think
plan. And
yeah. I think you know.
but the thing is that in 3 months' time, it's like I mean, it is good on some things. Like it says in 3 months' time, you've got to think that it'll be the new tax year. So we can increase prices of our guitar lessons and stuff like this accordingly.
Mm.
And that's great, don't get me wrong. And there's bits like that. But then it goes on about stuff like, let's have a look what's taking up the most time. And it's like, at the moment, I think that there's like certain jobs that are taking up more time, like helping out at the shop and things like that. And it's like, so by this point, we can start to rearrange your life accordingly with that. And I'm thinking, no, what's taking up the most time is you turning me into a bloody cleaner. You know what I mean? Like, that's taking up the most time, but it won't do that.
Daniel-san,
That's
paint
good
the
for me.
fence.
That's good for me. But yeah, I'm dreading the summer because it's going to be like, because Dave, you haven't seen, but my garden's pretty big and I've got 2 lawns and I'm dreading it just saying like, yep, every day, just once you've like defrosted your freezer and cleaned the toilet with a toothbrush, just trim the garden using nail scissors. That'll help you. That'll be therapeutic and that'll give you a sense of calmness while you do it, because that's kind of like what it's getting at here. And yeah, ultimately, it does say, though, one good thing about the pod. It says, grow your audience throughout this year. And I shouldn't be telling you all, but it's because it's told me not to, but I will do. But it says, but when the autumnal months come around, then YouTube starts to push more because people are staying in more. So they drive more adverts to pages and stuff like that. And it's like basically saying by that time, if we can get monetized, we've got a better shot because we can drop ads in and more people stay indoors then. So there is good points on it. It's got some good views, But whether I'm going to be a millionaire at the end of the year, well, I highly doubt that. But
I think we could
we'll
probably have another
continue.
£100 bet on that.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to be rich by the end of it. I'm going to be a millionaire if I keep making all these bets.
I think there's more chance of Charlie getting the fucking Euro millions in from AI than there is of.
We'll do a
In
syndicate.
fact, make that a thing. Charlie, you do the Euro million every week, right? And tell ChatGPT or whatever it is you use, tell that your prediction and see if you like video it and then upload it. And I'll keep going on me yearly task with it, and we'll see if any of them two do actually work. And then we'll know if AI is good or not, won't we?
I think the future of AI is based on these two tests, isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it
You
is.
win the lottery or whether you're a millionaire, and if it doesn't, investment will just be pulled immediately. I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it might be onto something, and your viewership, because everyone who's investing in AI will be watching these podcasts to see whether it is,
Well,
they
it
should
should
keep
do.
investing or not. So that's a good idea.
Joe
To be
and
honest
Charlie's
with you,
method on AI. It's good, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I reckon
I
so.
think that like my vision, like my views, could be very useful to some of these AI companies because, like like they'd be thinking, do you know that lad? He's like, not only is he using AI to like run his life, he's now thinking of the bigger picture. He's thinking of like what
Mars.
happens
Yeah.
after we die. He's thinking of like multi-planetarian. You know what I mean? Like all this going off. He's got something. We're getting him. Get him in. Come on, right, Joe, sit down. What's the plan? We can make it happen. And that's what I
I
really
think
want.
that I think the funny thing about all this is that me and Joe discussed before, like the new year, that we were going to give up smoking together. That was going to be our New Year's resolution. And I've given up smoking. I'm breathing really well. I'm loving life. And Joe's just cleaning every day and continued smoking. So I don't know. I think I'm better off if I'm honest.
It's turning me into my mum.
He's killing all the germs with the bleach smell, isn't he?
Yeah.
Stop cleaning them out.
I used to be intelligent
Sorry,
before
Charlie.
I kept smelling that bleach every day. Kill me brain
Sorry,
cells.
Charlie. Charlie were gonna say something and I interrupted. Sorry, mate.
Is Joe's input on the AI industry as like a reflection of the Simpson episode where Homer goes and designs a car? I don't know if you've seen that one.
I think there's going to be a Swainiverse. I really think there's going to be. Fuck the metaverse. It's going to be Swainiverse. We're all going to be in Mars, just floating about as like AIs, and it'd be great. Yeah.
No, we won't. We'll all be
but
digitalised. It will happen.
Yeah.
I guarantee it will happen. Because the thing is, you've got to think.
Well,
you've
got 10 years to make it work, mate. Otherwise, you owe Dave £100, and we're all, we're
PA system.
Yeah.
right, guys. I think that's a pod. I think we've had a great time there, and thank you ever so much, Dave. I mean, your intelligent input into that was wiped out by our foolish, childish play.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I think it's really good to talk about this stuff because there is a lot of hype around it. There is a lot of misinformation, but there is still stuff to think about and not necessarily worry about. But there is some concern. You've got to be smart about it, and I think it's good to there's a lot of jokes about it as well. I mean, by its nature, it can be quite funny, especially when you look at some of the videos it generates and stuff like that. So, it's just cool to have the opportunity to talk to you guys and appreciate it.
I think it'd be good to get you back on in a few months' time as well, so we can like recap on whether Charlie's won the Euro millions. I mean, he won't be here if he has, will he? Let's be honest. He'll have ditched us straight away. Or whether Joe's house is finally cleaned. I mean, he lives it's his dad's house, isn't it? So I've got a feeling that all this cleaning is going to result in you're just going to have your dad's going to turn up with random people like to sell the house because you made it look so saleable.
He'll literally just come out and it'll be like this AI, brilliant, Joe. Keep going, mate.
Why have you replaced all the windows and the carpets? And why have you had a new roof, mate?
To be fair with you, Corey said to me at the bar the other day, he goes, I'm telling you now, Joe. He says, it's not AI. And I went, what do you mean? And he says, it's Helen on the other end. She's going to you. Look, yeah, kitchen needs doing.
Tell him to sort that fucking washing machine out.
Hey, I never been washing machine engineer. Anyway, I digress.
Right, guys. I think we've had a really good. That's been a magical session, and like I think we've chatted about AI loads of times, and I know people have reacted to it. But please, guys, comment on this and email us, Charlie, our email man. What's the email again?
Yeah. You can email us at hello@funnyfarmpod.co.uk. We'd love to have any questions you want to put to Dave, because we're going to have him on again if he's up for it.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Any questions you've got on AI after listening to this, just ask away, and when we get Dave on next time, we can put them to him. So that's email.
I'll see you in the
obviously
Swainiverse,
we're
David.
in the
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Swainiverse.
it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to explore that place.
Yeah,
God, can you imagine it? Loads of little R2D2s running around doing kung fu, mate. It's going to be fucking brilliant. But yeah, obviously follow us on everything. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything, aren't we, mate? We're on Spotify. We're on Spotify now. We do exclusive episodes on Patreon as well. So if you want to look at those, it's patreon.com/funnyfarmpod. And obviously our main place is YouTube. So please go on there, like, sub, follow, and everything. Thank you ever so much, Dave. I'm swapping to the Tuesday class, so I might not. I won't see you on Monday probably, but
oh man, okay.
We'll catch up very soon, though, mate. And yeah, I think definitely if you're up for it, come back on here. I think it could be quite a nice little feature for us, talking about AI and technology and the way things are going. And
it'll all be different. It'll be different in 3 months' time. So yeah, it would be good.
Maybe you and Joe can get your heads together and create the Swainiverse.
Well, no, that's arguably going to keep me in employment, won't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
With this million that it's going to make. So.
That's how I'm going to be a millionaire, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you got it. That's it right there.
Excellent stuff. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We've been Chris, Joe, Charlie, and Dave. See you later, guys.